Welcome to Positive Atheism English channel. This is a special article written by Justice Doraiswamy Raju, the former Judge Supreme Court of India, on the occasion of Assyria Dr. K. Veeramani's 88th birthday. The multifaceted personality. The president of Dravidar Kazhagam, affectionately called as Assyria, Dr. K. Veeramani's 88th birthday falls on 2nd December 2020 and is being celebrated ideologically as Self-Respect Day by the Periyar movement, global rationalists, humanists, and well-wishers with great grandeur reservedly. According to me, Assyria was born with a noble mission and selfless cause to propagate and fight for the equal rights of socially marginalized and discriminated. It is no wonder that even at the age of 10, he got accreditation from Periyar to address the gathering at the Justice Party conference at Salem in 1944. As days passed, he was enamored and attracted to the wisdom and conviction of Periyar in vindicating the rights of the downtrodden to bring about a rational outlook among those shackled to the ridiculous, harmful, superstitious concepts and practices invented and imposed by the selfish Brahmin and upper caste groups. Periyar proclaimed the need to abolish the caste structure as a prelude to build a new egalitarian social order to establish with a strong structure of independent and free polity. Since fight for such social causes were dear to Assyria, there is no wonder in his identifying himself with the Periyar's Dravidian movement. The pursuit of such social reforms involved public agitations, organization of seminars and social campaigns. Assyria participated in several revolutionary events, resulting in his being imprisoned at least 40 times, including his detention under Misa when fighting for conservation of basic and fundamental human rights of the citizen during the 1976 emergency. The reason detour for all such evils, according to Periyar, lay in lack of rationalism, awareness to self-respect and lack of determination to refuse to submit to anything irrational, enslaving themselves to God, religion, and manipulated creeds and shastras meant to keep the innocent and ignorant slaves forever. After being enrolled as an advocate in 1962, I worked in the chambers of various law offices such as Mr. A. Alagiriswamy, Mr. V. Ramaswamy, and Mr. S. Mohan, who all later became judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court of India. During the time when I worked with the government pleader, Madras High Court, I used to accompany him every month when he visited Tidal to pay respects and take the blessings of Tantai Periyar. During such time, I had the opportunity to interact with Assyria in the company of the government pleader. In January in 1971, there was a procession at Salem. During that procession, miscreants created problems, and as a sequel to certain events which followed, the DK desired to file a contempt petition before the High Court, and I assisted Assyria not only in the preparation of the required papers in the legal format to be filed, but also sat by his side while he argued as party in person the said case before Chief Justice K. Veeraswamy's court. The Chief Justice was convinced of the submissions made by Assyria and ordered notice to the respondents, including a prominent newspaper. Thereafter, on many occasions, we used to exchange pleasantries when we met in public gatherings. In June 1990, when I became the judge of the High Court, there were long pending old writ petitions. I was one of the judges assigned for dealing with such cases. Assyria had filed a writ which was 10 years old when it was posted before my court. It involved a challenge to the inscription of Gayatri Mantra in Sanskrit or English in a greeting card sent by the manager of a nationalized insurance company, and the stand on behalf of the Assyria in that case was that recital of Gayatri Mantra was the exclusive privilege of Brahmin community as was being claimed, and therefore the nationalized company, which had to function under a secular constitutional frame, could not have wasted public funds in publicizing a religious mantra meant for a particular community, and the funds wasted thereon should be restored personally by the manager concerned to the company. I held on a careful and objective consideration of the matter that the said mantra is a universal one, entitling everyone in the society to get initiated or practicing as one opts, and it will be sacralized for any community to claim that it belongs to them exclusively. Esseriar was not satisfied, and though an article was written criticizing the view taken, Esseriar did not fail to mention at the same time that the judge myself dear to him. When I authored and delivered a judgment in Supreme Court in a case from Kerala State, declaring that no one is a Brahmin by birth and anyone who has certified to have acquired proficiency in the mantras and rituals concerned for a temple, he can be appointed as an archaga and enter into the sanctum sanctorum to perform such services. On seeing my judgment, Esseriar wrote a letter congratulating me, stating that had Periyar been alive, he would have hugged me since it was a cause dear to his heart. UNESCO Forum had proclaimed Periyar to be the Socrates of Southeast Asia. Esseriar, by his untiring efforts and interactions with international forums and various like-minded organizations all over the country, has concretized the position by globalizing Periyarism, which will remain indispensable in the world till equal justice is rendered to everyone in the society. Esseriar is a multifaceted personality and has mastery over every field essential to the human affair, will it be political, sociological, economical, etc. This is evident from his write-ups published as Vazviyal Chintanagal. Esseriar's equipment on each and every subject is encyclopedic, and his capacity to retrieve instantly with resourcefulness is unparalleled. His voice is first heard in protest on any onslaught adversely affecting human welfare and individual rights. While wishing Esseriar good health and long life, I am sure that he will succeed in achieving his goal in concretizing the laudable object of Periyar's self-respect movement effectively. And with this, the article ends here, and we shall meet with another one in the next episode again. Thank you.
For more videos, please subscribe to this channel Positive Atheism and activate the bell icon. Please download Samaram multi-channel app and watch your favorite channels from your mobile. App available on Google Play Store and subscribe to the channels.